Unholy hell, we have made it to the final goddamn program for the year 2023. And I remember when I came up with the idea for the show, I didn't know if anybody was going to like it. And just so happens, you guys have made this one of the best, most funnest shows that we have on Morgrot Entertainment, Black Flame Entertainment. And we can't thank you enough for that. So we are here to unholy rock your socks off yet again. So we got a great goddamn list for you tonight. And before we get into all this debauchery and unholiness, we're going to take a quick commercial break to our brothers at Villain Arts Tattoos. Check that shit out. Y'all know what the fuck to do when you see that the good old Villain Arts Tattoo Convention is coming to your town. You know that you need to go there, save up some money, get a quality tattoo, check out all of the culture there, all of the great vendors and performers, and you guessed it, in just a couple weeks, come meet me, because I'm going to be at the Omaha Villain Arts Tattoo Convention in just 2 weeks. So guess what? Come down, hang out, get a copy of my new film, Attack of the Corn Zombies, and a picture. I don't give a shit. Let's hang out. So, man, what a week it has been. What's up, Cody? What is up, Paul? What is up, Joshua? So many new faces. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. And we got a goddamn list that's going to knock your socks off. So how was your week there, brother Hoof Beast?
Oh shit, just same as always. I'm at work all fucking day long, and then
I'm guilty.
My daughter came in. Actually, it was a different week. So my daughter came in. We went up to Asheville. If you've never been to Asheville, North Carolina, everybody, it's a great little city. All kinds of cool shops that don't have Bibles or Bible thumpers sitting outside, walking around so much. Oh yeah, I'd love to see that one. Yeah, I can. Yeah, there's mine too.
It's funny. Somebody, one of us, I don't know, maybe this is a future design. We should come up with the very first Church of Satan hotel, in which this hotel is decked out in black, in all kinds of yummy designs all through the halls. And in every drawer next to that bed is a copy of this motherfucker.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, you know what? I think that would be a great. It would be a great idea if we did, if we had that in a city where, like most bands come through, like Chicago, LA, Phoenix. I don't, although I don't want to live in Phoenix again. Um, Dallas, like a lot of bands run through Dallas. Like all these major cities that get shows. Atlanta gets just about everybody coming through.
Noise.
That would be a good location. Uh,
I mean, sure, we can make sure there's a good old, flesh cover copy of the Necronomicon right next to it. That'd be great. And oh, hey, what's up, Kyler? Kyler says, "Hey, beautiful people, guess who is free for the next week? I'm assuming it's you. Stay free. Awesome."
No, yeah,
But yeah,
in that Bible that would be in the hotel, we could also put in like maybe our goddamn list of like the greatest things that Christianity has brought to torture people. Salem witch trials. What was that thing that they had in Spain? The Spanish Inquisition. We could
yes.
also have one for what the Catholic Church, how they kind of looked the other way for Mr. Hitler during
Oh,
World War II. I mean, like we could come up with a really nice list that goes in there, like proudest moments.
absolutely. And we can have the Dark Lord sign the guest book in like real huge, on a podium in the foyer. That would be great. Oh man, check this one out. Let's see. Diogo, I think is how you say his name, says, "Imagine the face of a worker when you go for a hotel and show a satanic Bible." Ay, ay, ay. That's hilarious. Oh, even better. Kyler says that Bible better have picture. I love it. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we can just go ahead and jump right into this dandy of a list for the evening. I've picked some juicy ones. Of course, we always have to kind of start with something for the hoof beast here. Wah,
Oh, love that.
wah.
Like all I have to do is just see that, and the whole it's like I'm in the Matrix, and they've plugged me in to gain all the information. Well, that whole memory just comes as if I lived it in a half second.
That is what they all call truly plugged in.
That's the first video where it made me think of smelling thongs. That would have been 88, I think. 88 or 89.
Right. That and tattoos. All right. Here it is for tonight. Let's just get right down to it, man. There's so much crazy shit in the news right now. So I think we've heard a little something about a mom who had a YouTube channel on how to raise kids, who's now facing prison.
Oh, yay.
Bonk. Oh my goodness. So if you guys are not familiar with this case, you really should, because it's literally everywhere. So this person, who is a Mormon,
Yay, Mormons.
the little golf clap of doom. Was giving advice on how to, new age techniques on raising your children and how to get them to do what you want them to do. Sounds like brainwashing to me. But anyway, has now been convicted. Well, I don't think the conviction has actually come down yet, but she has pleaded guilty to the charges against her. Some of which supposedly it's in Mormon culture to withhold feeding your children until they straighten up.
Oh,
Could you imagine?
yeah, child's mind's really going to understand that.
So make them go hungry. I don't know. That sounds like torture to me. I don't know about you guys out there in Morgorod Entertainment Land, but have you ever been a victim of this? Did anyone ever deny, any of your parents deny you of a meal because you were a little naughty? Maybe you didn't, take out the trash or something like that.
Mm,
Can't say I ever did. This is insanity. And this
yeah.
person had a YouTube channel. And at some points, from what I've read, is that they would duct tape their hands and feet,
Mm,
to keep them in their room. And I'm sitting here thinking, this is religion.
good
Hmm.
God.
Why would anyone want to be a part of any of that?
Well, with those types of techniques, you don't have to think. You don't have to be clever. You don't have to love your child. You just have to be an asshole and be forceful. That doesn't take any any brain cells, any brain energy, any common fucking sense. Like and like and what in the hell is she teaching these kids? One, hopefully, I'm never gonna be like my fucking parents.
I think we have all said that, growing up, like whenever I have a child, I'm not going to treat them like my folks treated me. And if I ever kind of like just for a second caught myself kind of, emulating my father, let's say, I'd stop right there and go, nope, not going to do that. Unbelievable. So let's see. We got we got a couple of comments out here, of course. So let's see. Oh, me and my dad rocked out to Danzig recently. Awesome. It's
Did
always good. Now, see, if we could all come together, mom and dad and child, and listen to the unholy teachings of great Danzig. How wonderful would that be?
now my question is, did Kyler share his little fetish album cover from I think 2016? Was it? That one
Hmm.
that Kyler loves to see so often.
Oh,
Now, Kyler, that had to have gone in the conversation. There it is. There's your left lazy, lazy nipple.
oh man. I mean, I hate to say it, but you kind of opened yourself up for that. It's
All right,
Kyler
now
said,
back to bashing this Mormon in this
oh,
instance.
trust me, we got more. We got more comments. So
Oh, great.
go
Oh,
ahead.
yes. Let's go through them. Yeah, I was just saying, let's bash this. I'm sick of this shit. I love to call this type of shit out.
Mm-hmm. Kyler says, of course, they're Mormon. Let's see. He says, reminds me about a certain book called A Child Called It. Maybe she should read it. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good book, too.
yeah.
Cody, hey, what's up, my brother? Of Defiler of the Crown Art. What's happening? He says, hell, a convicted felon and his girlfriend in Florida threw a 9-year-old into a bonfire, believing
Oh
that
my,
he had demons in him.
oh my gosh.
Oh my unholy Lord. Wow.
So let me guess, they were Christians as well.
And it's always the most heinous acts
Jeez.
committed, in these instances. And they all think that because it's in accordance with their good book. And yet they always like to say the black book is no good. Where in our book does it say to do that? Wowzers. That is insane. I
Yeah.
just had to like, I could almost see a picture of it in my head. I'm like, that is just
Yeah.
unreal, dude. Wow. Humanity at its best.
My gosh. When I was driving here, I was thinking we could have some sort of a contrasting idea that we could Satan splain on the goddamn list every week. So, the Bible thumpers think this. This is the
Mm.
reality.
For sure. Now, and it's funny you mentioned that because I probably will be coming up with some of those because I saw a bunch earlier this week that were like so good.
Mm.
But real quick here, Diogo says the good part of the Holy Bible is that it doesn't have images. Could you imagine? Could you imagine
Yeah,
if it had images of the atrocities?
Jogo's totally right. Jogo's totally right. There's so many
Mhm.
horrible things.
Oh my
Horrible,
goodness.
horrible things.
Wow. But yeah, as I was kind of like scrolling through my timeline on the Reapers Underground page, check this shit out. I almost fell out when I saw this. Tell me what's interesting about this. How in unholy hell does Jesus, light of my life, get right above a Satan splain advertisement? It's like they must have like a undercover, Christian group just like scrolling, and whenever the word devil is posted or something, bam, they hit it with one of those, and it's literally right above one of Magister Bill's hilarious memes. And I was just like, oh, they were trying to fuck with me today. That's what they were doing.
So you came across that
Yup.
and just found that thing.
It was just
Wow.
on my timeline as I
So
said,
it
look
wasn't a
through.
meme from somebody else that, wow.
Nope. It just
Gosh.
appeared in my timeline, and I'm like, oh, wowzers.
Gee.
Unbelievable. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Yep. Kyler says, I'm glad my dad and mom raised me right to treat others respectfully. And, you know, you don't need a book to learn that. That's just called good human decency.
I'd say the way I was raised, my parents they weren't pushy about anything. Like, I didn't know much of anything about who they were as people and what they thought about, other than I wasn't allowed to say the word crap. We never went to church, but
Mom
we
didn't like
were,
that. Mom didn't
but
like that either.
but we were pretty conservative, pretty normal family. But the thing that I rebelled against from that was that my parents didn't seem intellectually involved in anything. Like, I never heard anything intellectual or challenging coming out of their minds. It's just like turn on the TV and watch Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley and uh, go along with life. Uh, don't watch MASH because MASH is a little bit too intellectual and witty.
That was like one of the greatest shows of the times back then. People didn't watch it because, you know, it was horrible, it was violent, or anything like that. They watched it because it was fucking funny.
Really clever and
Plain
empathetic
and
at
simple.
times
It
too.
was hilarious. But,
Yeah.
people will be people. Oh, it's too much. Oh, whatever. Oh, I love this. Diego goes, light of my life. Light bulb. I'm in complete agreement there. Most deaf. So, Yeah, let's just keep the G train rolling here, so to speak. um, so, why is it that this is so surprising to people that a lot of those glam rock guys committed all these like bad things back in the mid to late 80s, but now all of a sudden it comes to light? We're talking like almost 30 years. And this one doesn't surprise me a bit. This fucking showed. So apparently,
Wow.
Tommy Lee finds himself being sued for a sexual assault over a 2003 helicopter incident. Um, I'm sure you've been around a helicopter or two in your time. How easy would it be to try to get an angry handy J while you're up in the air in one of those little helicopters? Because it had to be one of those like private ones, right? You know, they're little,
Oh yeah.
just take you from place to place or whatever.
Well, it could have been like a Kiowa, which it does have a sliding back door, kind of like a minivan. It could have been one of those. Maybe if they were the only two in the back there, and like he doesn't really have a camera to see what's going on in the back of the pilot, he has to pay attention, especially with a helicopter. And they're pretty noisy. Yeah, they're actually really noisy to
Okay,
be in
so
those.
suffice it to say, it probably, I guess, was easy enough to try to advance towards somebody. Now, in a helicopter, it's not like a plane. It's not like you have a flight attendant, you know,
Mhm.
that does things. So I'm not entirely too familiar with this story, but you know, it definitely caught my eye. So maybe they had like a personal assistant or a hospitality lady.
So helicopter hand job, Tommy Lee.
I don't know for sure. This is just more like him forcing himself on this poor lady in a helicopter. I mean that just says class, right? And he's married and has kids.
Oh yay.
And this was 2003. You know, first of all, fucking sleazy, man. Anytime this shit happens, it's never black metal artists, death metal artists, hardcore, doom, you know, bands. Nothing like that ever happens. But every time this does, it's fucking Aerosmith, Gene Simmons of Kiss,
Oh God.
or, you know, fucking Motley Crue. And, you know, who's next? I bet you them Poison motherfuckers are going to get, you know, put on trial here pretty soon because I mean they all are just a bunch of fucking idiots that can't play.
Well, Vince Neil, your favorite current singer, he killed somebody. Was it like 1984? Driving while intoxicated,
And
and
he
killed
did less
somebody.
than a year.
Yep. And then when he came out of prison, everything was lavender with glitter and pink with glitter,
Oh yeah, it's like their little
and a
fucking
fucked
golden
up
boy.
album. Yep, and a fucked up album too.
Oh man,
What a disappointment.
they were always disappointing in my opinion. That's for
Not
sure.
to me. I love Shout at the Devil and Too Fast for Love. I love those two albums.
I will meet you on the Too Fast for Love. It's not that I completely hate Shout at the Devil album. There was just certain tracks that I liked, but from like front to back, it wasn't like a
Hmm.
solid 5 out of 5 for me at all. But there was some good tunes on there. I can't say there wasn't.
Yeah.
Paul Nada says they all bragged about it.
Oh yeah.
Fucking chodes, man. I'll tell you. Kyler says copter job.
All right, Kyler.
Oh man. I think we just invented a new mode of transportation, the
Minivan
minivan
copter.
copter. Oh, I love it. Oh, let's see. What else do we have on the shit bowl bolorama? Oh, I know. Your favorite band in the whole wide world
Oh boy, what is
came
this?
under fire recently in metal news. Now, this is because this poor sappy little motherfucker lost his voice mid concert at Wembley, packed house, Wembley Stadium.
Oh my gosh. Reaper, that was awesome. I was expecting to see like a really good band and it's fucking Sleep Token. Probably the band that I want to throw the most shade and hate at out of all of them. And apparently the new album cover for the new album, they've changed their masks and the masks are even more creepy. What fucking posers. The more pop auto-tune their songs become, the more attempt at being dark and mysterious they throw at us.
But yet,
Yeah,
all of the
God.
Christians are convinced that they are messengers of God.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's about as funny as them thinking that "Mary on a Cross" by Ghost is a
Oh
Christian
man.
song. I still get a good laugh out of that one. Dude, I could not imagine that you have hyped yourself up so big that you have packed out Wembley fucking Stadium, which is like a staple in venues. Um, and you lose your voice right in the middle of the show. And it was reported. Now, this is the kicker. So they have their stagehand come out, get on the microphone, and tell the crowd that Vessel has lost his voice. But they're going to continue to play, and Vessel is going to stay on stage, and the crowd needs to sing the words to the song. And like the freaking sheep that they are, there is a video right now of the crowd shouting at the top of their lungs all of the vocals, for that particular song. And I was just like, this guy looks so dumb. He's running around the stage with his mic out, to everybody in the crowd, and like trying to hype him up. And I'm just like, you just got punked, my dude. And I wouldn't be feeling too good about myself right about now, because that just goes to show you vocal training sucks. Obviously, whenever this dude screams, he's doing it absolutely horribly,
Mhm.
has no technique, no nothing. And he loses his voice in the midst of the show. Now, I understand that, sometimes probably as a vocalist, you might be able to, have some tutelage there. That, sometimes when you're doing a show, a live show, you freaking go all out. I mean, Ozzy was
Mhm.
very famous for blowing his voice out three or
Mhm.
four songs into their set, right?
Mhm.
But I mean, this kid is not a 25-year career vocalist. This is a young punk that's like 22, 23, probably 24 years old. And he
Yeah, I'm
loses his
surprised to hear this because the stuff when he is clean singing is not challenging at all.
not
But I
right.
could see him doing his growls, that when he does the growls, maybe he's a little excited, and I could see him maybe harming himself that way. Because the singing that he does is not in a range where he's pushing himself. Like there's a time that there was one of my students in high school. He was doing the international baccalaureate program, which is pretty difficult, and he was in music, and so he was a guitar player. And the teacher tried to encourage him to not only play the guitar for a song, but that he had to sing along with it. So about 4 days before, he brings the song before me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, an intervention is about to happen." So I intervened, and I just had to, be as kind as I could, but as frank as I could, and let him know, dude, you can't sing at all. You can't bring that up there. No, 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 no. This was that bad. Totally, like off key by double.
I don't
Awful.
even know why you would want to embarrass yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was a sweet kid. So I stepped in and sang. Anyways, the point of it is the song was at the very peak where I had to strain to hit the key properly because I didn't sing that way often, so I didn't have the vocal folds built up to where I could do that. That's what I think. But I don't think he's doing that, so it couldn't be that. It's probably he's yelling improperly, just getting excited and just belting it out. You have to be relaxed in a certain way to get to have looseness back in your vocal folds in order to get the distortion. And if you're straining real hard, that's more of like a punk rock yell. And my hat's off to those guys because that would trash my throat.
Well, they probably smoke like 3-pack a day, so it
Mm.
probably
Not these days. Shit. I
probably
think I
doesn't hurt.
told you. I
Or
went and
vaping their
bought
minds out. That could be it.
I went and bought a pack of cigarettes for one of my close friends a week ago. $8.91. I could not afford, if I wanted to, smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day. 8.91 in South Carolina at a food loan.
I can remember when those things were literally $1.50.
Mm,
And that was like the 90s. So here we are, 2023, 33 years later. They're almost damn near $10 a pack. You might as well just give it the fuck up at that point. What I mean, do you really need it that bad? I don't care how many more of these, off brands, that people obviously, um,
mhm,
they want to keep smoking, but they just don't get the name brand. I just couldn't imagine if you add up 12 months on what you spend per week, per month on these things. Because
mhm,
carton prices have got to be like $40 to $50.
mhm.
Mm, yowza. What's up, Babylon Sun? Glad to have you here, man.
All right. I wonder how Babylon's feeling. He actually messaged me earlier, and he might be feeling pretty good right now.
Oh, I bet. So we have a buffet of comments on this one.
All
So
right.
Cody says their drummer is up for drummer of the year. Okay.
Oh
So
my God.
first of all, no. Secondly, does he have
No.
talent? Yes, he does. He did a clinic for Drumeo, which is like the YouTube channel to see
Hmm.
all the hottest drummers, and they go through and tell you how they do what they do. The guy can play. He's got chops. I'm telling you this right now. He's another one that is held the fuck back
Mm,
because what he plays that's not on the record is very technical, very creative. But when you listen to the record, it sounds like Simple Simpleton. I learned how to play, a couple of albums from these bands or whatever, and now I'm a drummer. I mean, they're going to find out that he's going to get bored with that shit. I mean, unless he's just one of those guys that's like, hey, my band's big, I'm making great money, I'll play like I don't know what I'm doing. I hate that shit. I would never join a band just because the paycheck is great. Because
my
this is
gosh.
definitely a fabricated band
Oh
that
yeah.
was created to be a phenomenon because they saw how big Ghost got, took it a slightly different direction, but still theatrical. And apparently they're under fire that the creator of the new masks for them ripped off Mushroom Head.
Mm.
Go look at him.
Mm.
Tell me you don't see the similarity. I do. So I actually believe that shit, and I hope they sue those motherfuckers.
Well,
Posers, I can't stand them.
back to drummer of the year. My gosh, who are the fucking morons who would put this guy up as drummer of the year based on the performance on that pop music album?
Only
Mithridatum.
because they're popular.
So if we go and listen to the bands that do dissonant metal, Acausal Intrusion, Mithridatum, Fantafaxath, these are fucking amazing drummers. I mean, even Marduk's new one, fucking amazing and really hard to do. But there's so
So
many.
much talent. And
Go,
there
there's a
is.
yeah, there's a really good technical death metal band, Gorod, like they're like Necrophagus. Gorod, that drummer, yeah, blows at like not even close.
I mean, there's in every subgenre of metal, I think there is a drummer of the year. To just kind of like
Mhm.
smush everything together and go, here, whoever's most popular, this is the greatest drummer of the year. You can't do that, because I'm telling you now, in every category of metal, there is a top drummer. And that's the way they should do it. I think these contests are bullshit through
No,
and through.
it's kind of like something Loudwire would do.
I guess Cody will have to let us know who is doing that whole thing as far as that's concerned. So, anyways, I thought that was hilarious that the fact that they've built themselves up like they're this big bad amazing band, and their vocalist shits the bed at the biggest concert of their entire tour. I just have to laugh.
Mm.
Not even electronics could save that asshole. I love it. I love it. Let us move on to some more interesting things. Because there's just so much. All right. Well, actually, let's take it a slightly different direction here, and we're going to kind of get a little bit of an audience a vote on this, as well as Brother Hoofbeast and myself. So recently, there was new inductees into the Metal Hall of Fame. So let's take a quick look at that. Let me see if I got the right one. Yes, I do. So the headlines under metalsucks.net is Mick Mars and Sebastian Bach among the 2024 Metal Hall of Fame inductees. Now, here's the list. The list of inductees, they're doing a 40th anniversary induction of Eddie Trunk, who is a podcaster. Mick Mars has a special video induction because I guess he could not be there in person. Wendy Dio is inducting Sebastian Bach. Tim Ripper Owens, and I feel this is very deserved. He has earned his place. Very much so. Carlos Cavazo of Quiet Riot gave us so many great anthems in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
The producer director of Decline of Western Civilization and Wayne's World, Penelope Spheris. I mean, she was kind of quintessential, I think. Kind of doing the first documentary of the metal world. And I think we all have watched it. Let's see, Michael Maglieri, Whiskey A Go-Go owner, Rainbow Bar and Grill owner. Absolutely. And hell yeah, Cleopatra Records, and Biohazard. So that is their list for 2024. How do we feel about this, guys?
Only one band got in? Just Biohazard?
Actual full band, yes.
I want to see the list. I want to see who's not on there right now.
As in people waiting.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
who's already been chosen for, like, which bands have already been chosen and which have not. But Sebastian Bach is or was one hell of a singer. That dude had amazing highs, amazing lows, and just got on a band that did some ballads and got really fucking famous. Like their harder songs, I never wanted to listen to, but if I was out with a pretty lady back in 1988, I wouldn't have mind listening to 18 in Life, or what's the other one they had?
Youth Gone Wild.
Yeah, well, Youth Gone Wild. That's one of the little bit heavier. That one's actually pretty good. I Remember You. That was the ballad one.
Oh yeah, if you wanted to make the panties drop, that was the way to do it.
Yeah, I just listened to that one last night.
Little pre-holiday nookie. There you go. Oh goodness. Babylon Sun says, "Oh man, I'm feeling great."
Oh yeah. So Babylon, why are you feeling so great? You want to share with everybody?
Oh, I'm sure it's rather green.
And probably a little chewy and kind of rubbery feeling.
Cody has just told us that apparently Lars is in it too.
Oh my God.
Which thing? The Hall of Fame or the metal documentary? You'll have to let me know which one, because if that some bitch gets inducted into the Metal Hall of Fame, I'm fucking calling for a riot.
Yeah, so what they would be telling Lars, I guess, that he's one of the best metal percussionists of all time. There's no way. We could probably list 500 metal drummers who are better than him.
Oh yeah. I'm waiting to see if, the Metal Hall of Fame will be inducting darker, heavier genres.
Yeah, really.
Where's the black metal? Where's the doom metal?
Hmm.
Where's thrash? We're waiting. You better get on it, man, because if that's the best you got, there's something wrong with your organization. I'm telling you that right now. Ain't nobody buying that shit. I mean, sure, guys like Sebastian Bach, during, the heyday of when metal ruled the airwaves, he was one of them. I was not that big of a fan. But I could appreciate what they were doing. It was kind of a fresh new look on, I don't know, mainstream. If I had to pick Guns N' Roses or Skid Row, I would pick Skid Row and say fuck Guns N' Roses. I'm sorry. As good of a guitarist that Slash is, but honestly, the rest of the band, I just assume wipe my ass with it and have a smile. Oh, I love it. Paul says Lars equals toilet. And Babylon says, LOL, oh yes, I'm melted into my couch and did nothing but watch music documentaries all day. Now that's what I call a great Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I deserve that. And with no wife there to make me feel guilty or like I'm wasting my time. I deserve a day like that. I work 6 days a week.
You and me both, brother, which is why I have rewarded myself with a trip to the casino this evening. And a nice bed. And yeah, Going to watch holiday horror all night. It's going to be great. But let's move on. We got some more goodies here. So Ohio, my old home state, never again, has apparently been solidifying themselves in the arena of most outrageous news. So I'm trying to think of where I should begin, because every bit of this is just fucking ridiculous. I mean, I would definitely not. Now, this is a twofer because the pictures are so close together. This is a twofer. So the first one is, you better not go to a zoo in Ohio, because Ohio man's arm nearly bitten off by a zebra in an attack. And then right below, and you guessed it, the photo below is the fact that there is one city, and it's Ohio City, that has the highest rated STD cases.
Boy,
How fucked up do you have to be to get noticed as being the highest rated of STD cases?
it sounds like Ohio is usurping Florida. And
Right.
how in the hell did Florida usurp Texas or Louisiana or Alabama, Mississippi? Oh my gosh.
Hell, Detroit for that matter. Shit. How fucking messed up is that? Could you imagine you're going to what is known as maybe a petting zoo or just a regular zoo? You're hanging out, you're with the family, you got your kids with you, and suddenly a fucking zebra damn near takes your arm off. Was he baiting this animal? Because I ain't never heard of a zebra being a violent animal. So what the fuck were they doing? Throwing peanuts at this motherfucker? I mean, come on, man. Was he quoting some Bible verses? Maybe the zebra got pissed off at that and said, hey, you left me off the fucking ship back in the day. I mean, that's just freaky, but man, it gets worse. Let's see. This is my personal favorite. A mother is charged after her baby fires a firearm in Waverly, Ohio Walmart. A scary situation for all involved occurred recently at a Walmart because police were called to the retail store after shots were fired inside the store, and a mother is now facing charges. So here's what happened, folks. She was concealed carrying and left the safety off, and her fucking 2-year-old reached into her purse, pulled it out, and went, bang, bang, motherfuckers. I mean, are you absolutely shitting me? I mean, I get it. I really do. That people like to, carry, especially if you're going to a Walmart that's, a little sketch, maybe got some sketchy folks. I mean, we've all had this experience. It's not the best.
The most sketchy one I was in was like a third world country down in Miami. Holy shit. It was awful.
Man.
I felt like I was in, like, when we went to Cancun years ago, I had to go in and look for a DVD, and I had to get diapers. And I said, well, I'm going to take the bus and I'm going to go into where the tourists don't go. So I went, and I can speak enough Spanish that I can reply well. And so I went in, and oh my gosh. That's what that grocery store reminded me of, this Walmart in Miami.
What the hell was the, you had the, cartel there? Was the Russian
Well,
mafia running drugs out of the back?
let's just say it had air conditioning, but the store looked
That's
like
a
it
plus.
didn't have air conditioning. I would not want to work at that store in the evening and have to put everything back. There were people like, taking an item like, oh, I don't want that, and just putting it all over the store, throughout, all over the place. Hot, hot mess. And it was just dirty.
Mm. Mm, 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 mm. I feel that, man. I can think of a million hoods that I've been to, especially Canton, Ohio, that are so, like you said, just completely screwed up. Um, now, the most recent that I can remember going to Walmart when I was down in the Tennessee Metal Devastation Festival. I had to go to the Walmart there. Only it was pretty well put together, not bad, but man, the people looked at me like I had stepped right out of a portal from hell.
Oh, but you were in makeup, weren't you?
Nope.
Oh, damn.
Nope. I was my regular self, man. I mean, obviously, I don't ever take my talismans off because I'm sorry. I am 47 years old and I don't give a fuck. I'm proud. I shouldn't have to hide. If somebody can freely walk around with a crucifix, God damn it, I'm going to freely walk around with my Baphomet sigil and my upside down cross, as well as Brother Hoofbeast there. And he's got a really good upside down cross, too. I love that one.
Mhm.
Oh, man. But there was nothing funnier than this next one because, well, we're coming back to the realm of the Christians again. So they made headlines because they have self-proclaimed that the song The Eye of the Tiger is a Christian song. Stealing it from the band, stealing it from the Rocky movies. They turned it into a Christian song. So this is your chance, everybody out there in Morgrat universe and Hoofbeast, to only imagine what those lyrics would look like. And go.
Well, this probably came about from the MAGA movement because they have played that song at Trump rallies quite a bit.
It's the eye of the tiger, and Jesus is nailed to the cross, but because it matters.
Well, let instead of the word tiger, let's use it's the eye of the liar.
See, now you're thinking.
Yes.
So it's the eye of the liar spreading his. What's he spreading? Disease. Yes. Spreading his disease wherever it matters.
Mental disease.
Mental disease. There. I love it. Oh, man. Oh, Cody, I'm so sorry. He says that's what it's like in all Tennessee Walmarts. All of them. Oh, man. Even Nashville. Damn. Well,
Oh
you
yeah, I,
know,
I went to one in Nashville. Yep.
did you?
And
What was it
what's that?
like?
That one didn't seem bad. It was a more wealthy one, and then I went down. What is it called? Middlesboro, where
Oh,
where one of the universities are, about 45 minutes south of there. My daughter was in a soccer tournament, and
oh,
that one I'm comparing it to South Carolina. So yeah, it's about the same.
oh, I feel you.
But
And
Kmart, on the other hand,
oh shit, I don't even want to
Kmart
talk about that
Kmart
chicane.
always had a ghetto feel. Like Walmart
All of
felt
them.
better lit and a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And the crowd has spoken. Diogo says it was the eye of Jesus that came upon them. I'm sure that's part of it. I would not doubt it. Hopefully, they were plucked out, chewed on, spit out, all that kind of good stuff.
Well,
Um,
they all have to be fighters. They all have to come out fighting and have the eye of the tiger because they
really,
just don't have any. Because they just they're so
what are they fighting against?
yeah, they're so persecuted, and people are pushing trans and homophobic or gay rights and stuff on them, and they're asking them to not spread germs when there's a pandemic and stuff like that. Not at least blow it out forcefully.
I mean, don't they realize that they're the sickness?
Oh gosh.
Oh, I know what it is. They haven't been able to send enough missionaries to literally every single corner of the world. That's what it is. Oh, and Babylon Son for the win.
Uh-oh.
Brown Eye of the Savior.
Oh.
That is officially the new title of this classic from the 1970s film Rocky.
Well, my next concept album for next year was going to be about only religion.
Oh
So
yeah.
maybe that can be one of the song titles, The Brown Eye of the Savior.
I think that is mucho importante. That should definitely happen. I absolutely love that.
It's the brown eye of the Savior. It's the
I mean, it has a ring to it, doesn't it? Let's see. What do we have next? Oh man, this is a sore spot, and I just have to make sure that everybody understands ahead of time that the last film for all horror fans, because we love our horror around here. So the biggest sore spot in the trilogy of Halloween films, Michael Myers, um, recently, obviously, I believe it was last year that the final film came out. It was hyped up to be the biggest battle of the ages. Jamie Lee Curtis versus Michael Myers, and they were about to have the battle of all battles. This is the one where one lives, one dies, yada, yada, yada. So goes the song. The film was literally called Halloween Ends. But that's not what we got, did we? What we got was a hour and let's say 25 minutes of a diatribe about the life of some other kid, that came out of this traumatic experience where a boy that, he was babysitting ends up dying in a tragic accident. And Michael Myers somehow passes on his evil tutelage to this guy who couldn't even pick up one ball of the Michael Myers experience. So every critic hated it. Every true Halloween fan hated it. But apparently, Stephen King weighed in on this particular film amidst all the controversy, if you will. Suckery is what I like to call it. So what he has to say about the franchise ending film made by Blumhouse, which is kind of like the major production company that is making these, big screen films. And a lot of them actually are pretty good. They nailed it for 2 movies straight. They were utterly fucking fantastic. But man, when you're doing a trilogy, the last thing you want to do is fuck it up at the end. You literally got 2 minutes and 45 seconds of Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode facing Michael Myers in what was supposed to be an epic battle. There was nothing epic about this. She was barely in the film.
Mm.
Michael Myers was barely in the film until the end. And then he's hoisted away to the local trash compactor to be dismembered. So, this is what Stephen King had to say. This movie was brilliant. The quote unquote master of horror for so many years and given us so many great novels that have become films. And let's not forget how many different directors, fucking production companies that have put out reissue films. You know, they did a redo, because let's face it, most of the classic Stephen King inspired films were classic for a reason. They never really had to be remade. But I mean, that's what the age we live in, and they just want to keep rehashing old films. And he has the cojones to say that that film was brilliant. Now, he took to Twitter to this, and it set the world ablaze, which is why I kind of felt like this was, you know, kind of newsworthy, because this is a beloved horror franchise. And
Mhm.
so many people got duped. All I can say is thank Satan for Art the Clown in the Terrifier 2 film that came out the same month and saved Halloween for all of us. So what's your take on that there, Hoofbeast?
Mm. It just makes me think it was probably paid. Either that or there's some sort of like, you wash my back, I'll wash your back kind of thing. For doesn't he have something coming out soon?
A Salem's Lot reboot.
Yes. Uh,
You know,
and
one
the
could say that.
Salem's Lot also, like, I like the book way better than the movie. The movie had some good visuals, but you didn't get to see the beast enough. And the book was way better. Takes a while to get going in that book, but that book was, I read that when I was in the army, like in '89, and that was a scary book.
Salem's Lot, when that first film came out, it was fucking spine chilling. And you know, it's a very long movie, as is, you know, most Stephen King, because the one thing that filmmakers don't want to do is leave much out, and you definitely don't want to change things. So
Hmm.
that's why these films were always so long, because they were a book first. You already had a millions of fans.
Hmm.
So you know, the last thing you want to do is put out a movie that sucks. And I think for the times, they did a damn good job with that. Mr. Barlow was just breathtaking. But then they took a stab at it in, what was it, 2010? They did a remake of Salem's Lot. This time it was starring, oh, what's his fucking name? Damn it. Famous 80s actor. Uh, that's going to bother me now. I'll have to look it up. But, anyways, so, I mean, they had a major, like, A-list guy
Hmm.
to play the role. Um, and then, but Mr. Barlow didn't look like Mr. Barlow. It was Rugger Hauer, basically looking normal himself, you know, as, don't get me wrong, I love me some Rugger Hauer, but Mr. Barlow was blue. Mr. Barlow had two little things that came straight down in the very, I mean, he was terrifying.
Absolutely, he was.
Rutger Hauer is not terrifying unless you're waking up the next day going, why did I get so drunk? So the fact that he has another, rendition coming out, which is supposed to go back to that original film, Mr. Barlow looks like Mr. Barlow this time.
Good.
But
Oh, I can't wait
here's the
for it.
crazy part, though. It's going straight to VOD.
Oh.
Pretty interesting. I don't know. It had something to do with the pandemic at the time because that's when it was being shot. So it kept getting pushed back, pushed back, pushed back. So as I understand it, it's going to have a 2024 release, but it's going to be VOD. So get ready. You better hope you have the right app to go and watch this thing. But yeah, for him to say that that was brilliant, I'm really
And the
not
way
sure
they
why
the
he
way
would
they
say that.
yeah, the way they advertised that, you would have thought that this was all about Jamie Lee Curtis.
It was supposed to be. I'm sure every strong willed woman across the United States was like, let's get ready to rumble. She's going
Mm-hmm.
to take down the big guy. And to be honest, I was on that train. I was there. I'm like, yeah, let me see a great fight, because she's kind of on in her years, but damn, she can still act circles around people, literally in just about any film she does. And it's like you gave her 2 minutes and 45 seconds of a fight with her arch nemesis for 40 years. I mean, H2O, when that came out, did you ever see the Halloween H2O film?
Mm-hmm.
H2O stands for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was her first time coming back to the franchise. She was a bit younger back then, still hailed as one of the great, movies in that franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And that battle lasted, I have to say, 25. Oh man, nearly 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes of the film. They were fighting that long.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fucking great. But here we are, this big resurgence of the franchise, and Blumhouse drops the ball in the final film of the trilogy. I'm like, Stephen King, did you get some bad weed? Did you have a bad trip? Did you eat the wrong mushroom? What would make you think that you could defend that film other than a PR stunt?
Now, did you go and watch this based on his review?
I can honestly say that I've seen this movie twice and I still fucking hate it.
Wow. You gave it a real try then.
It's so bad. So bad. Yes, I did. We have a myriad of comments from Babylon. He's feeling rather chatty
Oh,
at the moment. I love it. First, he says, in rebuttal to his original comment of Brown Eye of the Savior, feast upon my brown eye in remembrance of me, my children.
oh, good gosh. Babylon, how clever. And
Mm-hmm.
Babylon's writing some lyrics right now. He is spitting.
He says the original Salem's Lot freaked me out as a kid. Hell yeah, top 3. And he said it's
Hell
Rob
yes.
Lowe. Thank you. I could not remember the name of him. He also says that the book was way better. And I agree. It really was. But damn
Yeah.
it, that film was freaky.
And the part in the
Big.
book that really freaked me out is when they were in the autopsy room and he
Dude,
comes
you just
and
literally
comes
read
to
my
life.
fucking.
That was the part for me. I remember I was reading that book at night on like a Saturday night in the army in the barracks, and man, that was so good.
Dude was sitting there saying all his prayers and making this popsicle stick, crucifix, and it's not working. and this corpse is just starting to move ever so slowly. And then he just starts screaming, Bill. I mean, I can still hear it in my head and get
Mm,
goosebumps, you know. He's freaking out. There's no one around. It's just him. And the first time he's having to deal with one of the undead and try to fight it. I just thought it was just an epic part of
mm.
that story. So good. And I mean the actor, I forget his name in the original, but man, you could feel the fear coming out of this guy and the way he's delivering it. That's why I was like, why do you have to remake it?
And
And I really kind of felt like the Rob Lowe version with Rugger Hauer was just not. It just wasn't good, man.
mm,
So let's hope now that Mr. Barlow is really Mr. Barlow, let's hope that they can deliver as big as a iconic uh, kind of film.
I want to
Let's
go
see.
watch that movie tonight.
Oh, dude. I always have it on standby. It's one of my personal favorites. Salem's Lot, first horror movie I remember as a kid that scared the shit out of me. Yes. It
Mine was
was
The
so
Exorcist.
fucking creepy.
It was like, I I grew up with Dracula having slicked back Pat Riley hair, and that
Right.
and
Bela
just
Lugosi.
some little eye or some bigger eye teeth than what I had at the time. And that's just not that scary. Fucking Salem's Lot was way more scary.
Oh my goodness, yes. Because it was, and I just recently watched The Last Voyage of the Demeter. And I have said this from the very beginning when I found out this movie was coming out. The Bram Stoker's Dracula, the book. If you haven't read it, you should. I literally said that 4 week voyage from Romania,
Hmm.
taking the count to London in Whitby, um, could literally be a film, and it was awesome. This was one of the first films that have recently come out as far as horror goes. It was really good. They did a nice job with it. You want to know why? Because this was not Dracula the man. This was Dracula in the terms of vampiric true form, which is not very human at all. It's more beast, it's more demon, devil, whatever you want to call it. Um, I really liked
Mm,
that take because I
yeah.
was like, if some fucking greaseball guy comes out of the coffin in the bottom of this ship, I'm gonna be pissed. Especially because if it's not Christopher Lee, I'm not digging it. Because
Mm,
Christopher Lee was the only Dracula that looked human that really captured the essence of what Dracula really was. He was not a nice guy. Frank Langella, honorable mention, nice try, not very good. Bela Lugosi is iconic because let's face it, he was probably terrifying in 1931. I don't doubt that. Sure, absolutely. Christopher Lee, though, he was the real deal, in my opinion. But man, when I saw Mr. Barlow for the first time,
mm, yeah.
I'm like, this is the true form. And Mousebong, hey, you made it. Better late than never. You are correct.
Yeah.
We are doing well. Glad to have you. Babylon says David Soul. Damn, I wish I would have remembered that. David Soul is the name of the actor that plays the author who was in that scene in the hospital. Um, all by himself because everybody left and suddenly this body is starting to rise.
God, I want to see that movie again. And what was the one that came out like in the 20s or 30s?
Mm,
Because that's,
Nosferatu.
yeah, Nosferatu. That's the one I want to go back and see that first because that I saw that first before Salem's Lot.
Me too.
And I was just like they had like Elvira's Horror Evening or something like that, like at 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday night. Oh yeah, I like them. Milky white skin. But I remember that's where it was like a big surprise for me to watch that. And that scared the shit out of me. Oh hell yeah. That's my girl.
Dude, I've seen some movie stills from the new full version remake of Nosferatu. And I believe it's coming out in 2024. And Willem Dafoe is the vampire hunter in this film, and
Oh,
I
cool.
fucking love that man. He,
Yeah.
I mean, and you can tell just from the movie still that he is playing the nuttiest, craziest fucking guy as the vampire hunter. Because if you've seen the original, everyone looks bug-eyed, everybody looks crazy, they don't look
Mhm.
normal even though they're trying to look normal. Anthony Hopkins was Sir Anthony Hopkins, I might add, was the first vampire hunter version of Van Helsing that was just a fucking nut, and he was perfect. It
Mhm.
was so good, so believable. You felt everything. He was hilarious. He had dark humor, whole nine yards. So Willem Dafoe as a vampire hunter, oh yes. And I'm telling
Mhm.
you right now, that's where filmmakers got their idea for how Mr. Barlow should look. It was from Count Orlok, from
Mhm.
Nosferatu. I mean, yeah, they were trying to make him look so dead that he ended up looking blue, but damn it, it was effective. Was it not?
Mhm.
Damn.
Absolutely.
For me, it was the teeth. And whenever he popped up, he would go,
Mhm.
oh man. As a kid, I had to change my shorts. So we have another myriad of uh, comments here. Babylon says, I was 7 when I saw The Exorcist and changed me. And it brought
Yes,
you over to
me
the dark
too.
side. The winning team.
Yeah, me too.
I
Yeah, I
love it.
was fourth grade for that.
Oh man. I think I was about the same age as you when I saw that, if I remember
Okay.
correctly. I think I was about
Yeah,
fourth grade when I saw The Exorcist for the first time.
yeah.
Mousebong says, I used to pretend that Return of the Living Dead was my favorite movie so I could keep watching Linnea Quigley dance topless as trash. That is by far one of the most iconic scenes in zombie comedy history. I mean, Linnea Quigley, when she says it's too hot and sheds all of her clothing and proceeds to dance on top of a fucking headstone in the middle of that film. 1980s classic. If you haven't watched it, God damn it, watch it. It's iconic. It was like every boy's wet dream back in the 80s. You never saw anything like that. And then all of a sudden, zombies come out everywhere and she's fucked.
Mhm.
So great fucking movie. Let's see here. Nosferatu still looks so badass aesthetically. Absolutely.
Mm.
That fucking German made piece of history. That's why so many people didn't think that the actor that played Count Orlok was actually human. Because when you see it, how did they do it? There was that movie called it was either Tale of the Vampire or something like that. It was a film that came out in, I want to say, the mid 2000s, where there was this behind the scenes story, lore of that first film. This movie is the making of Nosferatu, and where no one knew who Max Schreck was, and the director of that particular film said that he will only appear as Count Orlok. He's a character actor. You will never see him normally looking. And, for the longest time, for years, 20, 30, 40 years, people have thought that, this was real. That Count Orlok was found somewhere in the deep Romanian mountains and was feasting on rats to survive. And it was a great fucking movie. But it turns out we'll never know. It was 1921. It turns out that Max Schreck was actually a legit German actor. But still, though, were they covering it up? What else was he in? Because nobody else can tell us. That'd be great if it was true.
How in the hell did they film that film in Germany? They were so fucking poor. This is right at the end of World War II, and we had the not the bubonic plague, the flu going through and wreaking havoc upon millions. The Bolshevik Revolution was going. The second part of it was going on.
Wasn't it World War One?
Yeah, World War One.
Yeah.
Yeah, World War One.
Yeah.
Yeah, World War One. Yeah, I think it ended 1917, 1918, and then Bolshevik, the second part of the Bolshevik Revolution, where they took over, was 1921. I think it was 5 to 7 million people died in that revolution. But how in the hell did they film that in Germany? Like, they were so poor because of the sanctions from the United Nations.
Straight up, they did it on a beer budget.
Yeah.
Seriously. So we have some more fantastic comments out here. I could talk horror all day long because that's just me. That's my thing. Between that and metal. Babylon Sun, you absolutely capture my soul with this because I agree with you 1,000%. He says, I loved the old Full Moon video franchise because it was all scares, blood, and boobs. What he's referring to is the Subspecies franchise, the most successful horror films that put Full Moon Entertainment on the fucking map. Oh my goodness, what was his name? Damn it. Did you ever see those?
No, not at all.
Oh my goodness. They were so good. They were shot in Romania. And that's one thing that the director was very adamant about, was shooting on location legit. So, man.
Not easy to do back then.
Their last name was Vladislas. Damn it. I got to think about it. Well, anyways, this particular vampire in this franchise was horrific, and they took the same approach because this plays into, just as we were saying, that Nosferatu set the bar for every vampire film, every major vampire film. The vampire in this particular series, his fingers were like out to here. They were so big, just like Count Orlok.
Yes, and I remember that like a lot, the way he had his hands.
Oh yeah.
Man, I wish I could have the rights to make T-shirts like that. T-shirts with his likeness on them. Ooh, that would be good.
Oh, I'm sure they're out there. If you dig deep enough, I'm sure they got some T-shirt prints. Matter of fact,
Poison Valley Clothing,
or Little Owl Mystics, my store, because we make our own shirts now. I bet you I could find one. Oh man,
that would make a good tattoo as well.
Oh, actually, there are some. I have seen some online that people do get some Count Orlok stuff if they are absolute true, vampire fans of the vampire genre.
How about a Captain Orlok, as big as your hand on your ass?
Now I haven't seen that. But that would be killer, though.
No, that's going on Reaper's ass. Here
Oh
we go,
my.
Reaper. I'm ready to
Apparently,
go. I'm ready to go.
Radu. Radu was his name. Thank you, Babylon Son. I appreciate you. It's been a long fucking day, so I totally forgot his name. But man, thank you all so much. This has been a fucking blast. And thank you guys out there in Morgrad Entertainment, Black Flame Entertainment universe for supporting this show, because this show is different. It's an anything goes variety show. We talk about news, we talk about literally anything and everything. And every time it's just blasphemous candy, carnage. We love it. So, you will definitely see us in the new year. So, I hope you guys have a fantastic Yule and just treat the 25th like it's any other day, because who gives a fuck? We sure don't. So, yes, absolutely. Whatever you celebrate, have a good one, guys. And as you have, visions of Ohio crazy people dancing in your head as a zebra bites his arm off, and the Mormons are getting caught for all their horrible shit. And you want to punch Michael Myers in the face for not kicking ass in that last film. The most important thing that you should always remember, especially on the holidays: stay heavy.